G'day, good morning. Bitcoin has started to rally. Somebody bought $1.1 billion worth of Bitcoin, over $70,000 at the time. Custodia Bank has lost their battle against the Fed. For a fully reserved bank, we're going to dive into that. It's pretty strange for that to happen. And Saylor does not believe Bitcoin is good at digital cash. Let's just jump over and hear from the man himself in regards to what Bitcoin is going to do.
And I think that's really driving the trend. I've said before, if Bitcoin's not going to zero, it's going to 1 million. The real question is it legitimate asset? If it's a legitimate institutional asset, everybody is underallocated to it. Even
now, at $70,000, people are starting to wake up to the fact that Bitcoin has gone up forever. Now, Oliver and Wicked, I've said it once and I've said it 1,000 times. Generational wealth is made in the bear markets, not in the bull markets. Trying to sidestep the down periods instead of using them to get more is counterproductive to your future wealth. Here is the proof. This is super interesting by Wicked. The daily DCAers who started stacking Bitcoin at all-time highs in late 2021 now have a lower cost basis than the daily DCAers who started stacking at the bear market in late 2022. That's pretty interesting, hey? Proving once again that with Bitcoin, time the markets beats timing the markets. So if you're to start DCAing at all-time highs in 2021, you're way better off than buying at the lows of late 2022. It's TikTok next block. This thing is going up. Continue to buy, stack, and chill. It's super easy. So $1.4 billion was sent into Coinbase, and I'm not too sure if these two things are related, but we did see a buy of over $1 billion of Bitcoin on the weekend. So because you don't send it because you want to sell or because you want a safe place for it to gain some interest, there is only one reason you send big money into Coinbase, and that is to buy. The question is, buy what? Bitcoin. So 1.4 billion USDC moved in Coinbase, is strong buying pressure incoming. Well, we are seeing a huge pump today, and we're going to jump into the numbers very shortly. But this is what happened here. Someone just bought $1.1 billion worth of Bitcoin at 70K. Another nation state buying was that on CoinSpot. Who knows? Are these related or not? Very interesting. If they are not related there, then there's more buy pressure coming. We do see the halving, 21 days, 21 hours, 39 minutes away. Supply shock meets demand shock. We are going up and to the right forever. Let's just jump over 71,440, close enough to the 420 when we are looking at getting the halving. Now, if we see what time it is, couple of really interesting things that I found as we load the block clock. 837,139, 6:04 a.m., 71,182 sats per USD. Incredibly sweet deal still today. We bought yesterday. My wife's going to buy more today and continue to buy more and more. 70,000, who cares? It's getting out for us. The Pacific pesos into the world's hardest asset. You do you. Average block height, 9 minutes and 53 seconds. I'll bring it up a little bit easier for everyone. Just give me 2 secs. I want to show you this, which is really cool. This is on timechaincalendar.com. Shout out to everyone that is watching live, watching the replay. If you can smash the like button, happy Sunday, happy Easter Sunday. Now, if we have a look here, this 2,861. The reason that this ring here is flashing is because we are really closing in on the halving. Blocks to go, 2,861 until the halving. Absolutely incredible. We're 98.64% of the way there. 21 days, 21 hours. And then what happens? I think we're going up and to the right forever, Laura. Now, JP Morgan issues shock Bitcoin reversal as 1 million price prediction is suddenly pulled forward. The Bitcoin price is at around 350% since it crashed to recent lows of $15,000 per Bitcoin late 2022. People see this and they have unit bias. Oh, actually, this was hilarious. So on the weekend, family get together, Easter on Saturday. It was absolutely beautiful. Took the kids out. Met somebody at an arcade. It was pretty cool. So we took the young kids out. Anyway, that aside, met up with And shout out to you. It's such a pleasure to meet you. However, sat down, wearing the Bitcoin shirt. I was wearing my white one. And he's like, what are you up to? I'm like, well, Bitcoin, same thing I do every day. He's like, he laughed at me and he's like, that's dead. And I just went into hysterical laughter. I'm like, Dad, it's over $107,000 Australian. That just shocked him. This is a very high net worth individual. And then I spent the next hour and a half orange pilling him and a little bit of food for thought. So if you are watching this video, as I said, don't watch the live videos. Go back and watch the podcast that I have done. But people are starting to wake up. This is a very high net worth individual that is going to start buying soon because they will understand very quickly that this thing is going up forever. So as well as that, so that would be like my uncle-in-law. I don't know how that works out. Mother-in-law's already buying. She's going to buy more. Sister-in-law is going to be buying more as well. Don't get that unit bias of $70,000, whatever it is, $107,000 in Australia. Just buy as much as possible. It's still cheap. We're only at a $1.39, $1.4 trillion market cap. 15,000, 71,000. It just takes a little bit of education, but this thing is still cheap in the scheme of things. So JP Morgan Chief Executive Jamie Dimon has reversed a previous call for Bitcoin to be closed down as a huge 1 million Bitcoin price prediction is suddenly brought forward. I don't know what the Bitcoin itself is for, but I defend your right to smoke a cigarette. I'll defend your right to buy a Bitcoin. Dimon has remained staunchly anti-Bitcoin and crypto as it has been slowly accepted by the financial establishment, said during the Australian Financial Review Business Summit, it was reported. However, he added he won't personally ever buy Bitcoin. December, Dimon lashed out at Bitcoin during a Senate banking committee. That's super interesting, hey? Same talking points with Demon Senator Elizabeth Warren, that he's always been deeply opposed to crypto. Bitcoin, obviously, the only true use case is for criminals, drug traffickers, money laundering, tax avoidance, and there's a little bit of a jingle out there, but JP Morgan, the bank, has been fined billions and billions and billions of dollars for doing exactly that, and it's such a minuscule amount in Bitcoin. Dimon has previously called Bitcoin a hyped up fraud and compared it to a pet rock. The latest Bitcoin price boom, sparked by a fleet of ETFs being approved by the US SEC, has led the already hyper-bullish ARK Invest chief executive to bring forward her 1 million by 2030. Our target is above that, and with our new expectations for institutional involvement, the incremental price that we assume for institutions always has more than doubled. So we'll see. Demon's still against it. He's demonizing Bitcoin. But with people like Cathie Wood pulling forward their $1 million price prediction, we may see a couple of fireworks this cycle. And we do have Samson Mouse calling for $1 million by the end of the year. What would lead to that? Does the US dollar need to crash? Absolutely not. That's not the way. Just really quickly, I do want to bring up today's sponsor. Really been thinking about this. The Bitcoin Way has helped me out a lot. They can help you master your Bitcoin self-custody. What's that mean? If you're new to the space, if you've got Bitcoin on an exchange, if you've got it on a ledger, if you've got it on a Trezor, potentially reach out to these guys. I had a really good setup. And when I started working with Tony or meeting with them beforehand, before they came on as a sponsor, he took me through, helps me with my self-custody, took it to the next level. Like with 25 years cybersecurity experience, they can really shut down your computer from hackers, attacks, just making sure your privacy is safe. But this is generational wealth. Even if you've got a little bit, it's just time before it turns into generational wealth, in my opinion. Do everything you can to look after it. Safety and a Moose also endorses them. And then the coolest thing we are seeing, you know, Ledger, Trezor in particular, blocking, that's not the right word, but they're getting in the way of certain transitions. These guys can help you set up a node and allow you to be your own bank. First 30 minutes is free. If you have any concerns, you just need to reach out. You're worried about SIM swap attacks. Not mainly, but especially if your Bitcoin's still on exchange, please get it off there today. Anyway, first 30 minutes is free. Reach out to them below. Custodia Bank. Caitlin Long, this is absolutely incredible. So we'll dive into it. I'll just read this and then I'll give you a little bit of a background. Shout out to everyone that is watching. We are seeing people in the chat are buying more today. Skins, I bought more today just before it started pumping. That's so awesome. We bought more yesterday. My wife's going to buy more today regardless of the price. 70,000, 71,000, 50,000, 100,000. It's TikTok next block, ladies and gentlemen. Get as much as you can, as quick as you can. In my opinion, buy, stack, and chill, as always. Anyway, Marty Bent, the Fed can't have a fully reserved bank alongside all the fractionally reserved banks that currently make up the system. Eleanor breaking, the judge in the Custodia Bank versus the Fed has mostly sided with the Fed in summary judgment, denied Custodia petition for review of its APA claim and its motion for judgment on its statutory mandamus and claim. We'll dive into it a little bit more. So Caitlin Long here has Custodia Bank. They are looking for a fully reserved bank, which would... Like, it's interesting. A fully reserved bank, it sounds absolutely fantastic. Stops the rehypothecation, prevents bank runs, people are safe and secure, and they want to be able to access the Fed's line of credit, and they're not being allowed to. So Judge Scott, sorry, I'm not even going to try pronounce that name, pronouns, of District Wyoming, denied Custodia's motion for judgment on Friday, writing that federal law does not require the nation's central bank to give every single eligible depository institution access to its master account system, nor did the provided evidence suggest that the Fed of Governors influence a regional branch of the Fed to deny its application for an account. Master accounts allow banks and depository institutions direct access to the Federal Reserve rather than require them to go through intermediary banks. My apologies. Why is this tripping out? In its amended complaint, Custodia argued the Fed's board had unlawfully directed the Kansas City Fed to reject its application, that the Fed did not have the discretion to reject applications from non-member depository institutions. In his order Friday, Judge Scav Demand, yeah, I'm making things up. I have no idea how to say that name. My apologies and respect, Your Honor. Wrote that the law does not require the Fed to grant master account access to applicants and that the evidence leaned towards the Kansas City Fed making the decision rather than the Board of Governors. Thus, allowed Fed Bank poses discretion to deny or reject a master account application. Start charter laws would be the only layer of insulation for the U.S. financial system, the judge wrote. And in that scenario, one can readily foresee a race to the bottom among states and politicians to attract business by reducing state chartering burdens through lax legislation, allowing minimally regulated institutions to gain ready access to the central bank's balance and Federal Reserve services. A whole lot of nonsense there. Really, what they're trying to do is have a fully reserved bank, cater to tech, cater to people in Bitcoin. Fully reserved. Not good. Not good. Like, what world do we live in? Because we would see a lot of outflows out of the big banks in the States. It'd make a whole lot of sense to go with the bank that's safe, so they can't allow that for your own protection. Sounds like Commonwealth Bank. Obviously, I'm trolling and have created other bank accounts and will move everything away from them. But Sailor doesn't believe payments, shows payments won't drive investor interest in Bitcoin. Couple of things here. So Bitcoin came out as a peer-to-peer electronic cash system by Satoshi Nakamoto. For Sailor, there needs to be a better understanding of Bitcoin's nature and main purpose. People refer to it as a currency or digital currency, and that's an unfortunate historical artifact. It's not a digital currency, it's digital property. I tend to agree with him for my situation in life. However, I think it's a little bit more nuanced than that. Bitcoin will turn into a peer-to-peer digital currency in due course where I am. However, it's already happening in many places in the world. El Salvador, for example. It is a peer-to-peer digital currency. For me, I'm using it as a store of value. When over time, the parallel economy, we will use it for that. But with this in mind, Saylor argued the compelling use case of this technology is capital preservation. That's what we're using it now with high inflation rates here in Australia and really the world over. So using it for payments doesn't make that much sense for him. He compared owning Bitcoin with owning real estate and argued that nobody complains about being able to spend a fraction of their buildings. Yeah, I just cut off the garage and then buy a car or a plane, well, whatever it is. It doesn't make any sense. And at this stage, for me, I totally agree with him, but I do see it shift, and I understand it's different in different parts of the world. And it can be. That's the nature of Bitcoin. It's permissionless. It's freedom technology. You do you. Like, that's the joy of it. It's incredible. Medium of exchange is worth only $1 trillion. Store of value is worth $100 trillion. Medium of exchange is a distraction. Bitcoin is competing with gold, he underscored. Totally agree, but different strokes for different folks. Nobody needs to get upset about it. It's the way he sees it. It's the new way. Institutions are starting to see it here. And we are here to take over gold, and it's just a matter of time, in my opinion. We brought this up ages ago, but James, a shout out to you. This is absolutely hilarious. Central bankers in New Zealand. I thought you'd get a little bit of a laugh, and this is why we Bitcoin today.
The fiscal challenges, etc., that are there. So very focused on being cost effective. We actually fund ourselves and then work out what dividend is needed to pay. So we kind of it's a great business to be in, central banking. You print money and people believe it. And
we print money and people believe it. Central banking, what a great business to be in. We cannot allow fully reserved banks to access evil.
And so it's a slightly different beast.
Yeah, beast is the right word there for sure. Absolutely crazy. We do see, Michael, that's how fragile the system is. They can't allow a bank like hers. Sounds like the judicial system has their pockets lined by the dirty fiat overlords. Too crazy. Full reserve is the goal and attracts my attention. I agree. Absolute nonsense. Go ahead, aloha, Bitcoin dude. Let's go. Eugene, my daughter orange pilled me at 67 years old. I'm now 70 and much younger because of Bitcoin. That is the power of Bitcoin. Shout out to OPD, Average Geo. G'day, green button press for 1 million sats. Let's see the next level of all-time high records. Dizzy Lizzy is known as Senator Karen around here. Makes absolute sense. There is a principle which can't help but keep a man in ignorance. That principle is contempt prior to investigation. Herbert Spencer. I will jump into the comment section shortly. Let's carry on. We do have quite a bit to get through. We'll race through it and then we'll have a little bit of a banter. And happy Easter Sunday for wherever you are. And if you don't celebrate it, happy Sunday, just in general. It's a beautiful day and hopefully it's with friends and family. When your unit account is off. So Tim Draper, see if you can figure this one out. I invested 300 Bitcoin for a 4% of a startup. They returned me 15 Bitcoin 10 years later. That's hilarious. In dollars, it was a 15x on my money. When your unit account is off. Would have been just better holding Bitcoin, doing nothing. These people get all excited. They try to get smart. He turned 300 Bitcoin into 15 Bitcoin. He's up 15x on his money. Imagine if he just held on and absolutely chilled. Food for thought. Even these people, big capital allocators, they don't understand Bitcoin. Now, China. We keep hearing about it. I think that's a little bit of a misnomer, a very big deal. Crypto suddenly braced for a huge China ETF earthquake. Elon Musk teased an X upgrade that some Bitcoin crypto traders think could transform the market. This article's a little bit over the place, but I want to tie these two things together. China and Hong Kong is one thing, and then Elon Musk with X. Analysts have predicted a Hong Kong spot ETF in China could mean another huge Bitcoin price earthquake is just around the corner. Last cycle, Elon Musk pumped and dumped Bitcoin all over the show. I don't know if he just does it for sport, because he gets bored and he's trolling. But Hong Kong is going, it looks like, it's not 100% confirmed. It's not done until it's done. Yeah, in the words of Michael Dunworth. Looks like Hong Kong is going to allow in-kind creations and redemptions for spot Bitcoin ETFs, second quarter of 2024. Bloomberg Intelligence, Eric Bellahan has posted text adding that unlike the Wall Street spot Bitcoin ETF, that a cash creation only in-kind could help spark assets under management volume in the fast-growing region. Couple of things. refers to the redemption model. Anyone that's been here in Bitcoin understands this for a long time. I understands this, obviously, the ETFs now. Look, Wall Street, it's been like 2 and a bit months. It feels like they've been here forever, but well done for everyone front running them. If you are new here, probably just buy, stack, and chill as much Bitcoin as possible, really, because yes, the Wall Street ETFs over in the States absolutely pump the Bitcoin price. If China comes on, absolutely going to pump the price. And Elon Musk, if he does, we'll get to Elon Musk as well, but I dare say he is going to pump the price with what he plans to do. More tax efficient with in kind. While this detail alone is not enough to ensure strong inflows, it does imply a more open and agile approach to the potential market, which in turn could attract a broader range of participants. And also suggest that approval is getting close. This would be a very big deal. Asian crypto exchange volumes are orders of magnitude greater than those from the US, according to the data from the block there. And we're going to get up to the Elon Musk. So he's an interesting guy. The circle will be complete, and these things tie into each other. Elon Musk issues a shock prediction. Probably need to drink a little bit more water, getting tongue twisted. So, posted text this week alongside an image linking X with his old payments company that became PayPal. So you can buy Bitcoin on PayPal. You can't send it to a cold wallet. But as the everything cap, you should totally integrate crypto transactions. This is Kraken replied to Musk. When Tesla announced it would add Bitcoin to its balance sheet early 2021, this is a little bit of context, sent the Bitcoin price sharply and sparked a wave of speculation that other companies could follow on its footsteps, though few ever did. Yep, it's all right. We're very early in the people that have won. Anyway, Tesla eventually sold most of its Bitcoin, but continues to hold almost 10,000 Bitcoin, worth around 700 million, except Dogecoin for merchandise. Musk has also said his rocket company, SpaceX, holds some Bitcoin. It'd be interesting to know how much Ethereum and Dogecoin and support some crypto transactions. If we get these ETFs from Hong Kong and Elon Musk and PayPal do join up forces and integrate the everything app, and you can take self-custody of the Bitcoin, buying it through PayPal if they change it, or through X, like you can already do Zaps. Pretty interesting times ahead. I think this is going to be a cycle unlike anything else. So I'm only going to touch on this super briefly. UK judge issues a worldwide freezing order on Craig Wright's assets. Just quickly, what do you think is going to happen with Craig Wright? Is he not Craig Wright, Elon Musk? Are they actually going to join up with PayPal, become the everything cap? He's put in so many money transmitter licenses, I believe now in every state in the US, everywhere where he's required. Maybe he's got 1 or 2 more to go. Is he here for freedom or just the veneer of freedom? If they do integrate with PayPal, are you going to be able to take it into self-custody? I'm not so sure with that one. Anyway, UK judge issues a worldwide freezing order on Craig Wright's assets. So I believe it's like $6 million Craig has, roughly. He's not allowed to spend it. It has been frozen. That's to stop him from not paying back everything he needs to do. This happens tomorrow in Australia. Just pull out some cash, whether it's $20, $50, everyone who can, go to your bank ATM and draw out some cash. This is just to fight back with the communist banks here in Australia, particularly this one. Aussies plan to protest Tap and Go Society with Cash Out Day. When you have that cash, go into cafe, support the local, pay them in cash. It is the old school freedom money, and in the digital age, Bitcoin is that. But just out of spite, cash is going away regardless. It's happening. I believe there's nothing you can do to stop it. They have an agenda, cashless society, whether it's this year, next year, 2030. It's going, in my opinion. If it doesn't go, even better. That's great, especially for, not to discriminate, but the older folks are not used to the cards, internet banking. They like cash. allow them to have cash. It is going, buy Bitcoin as well, but just a big FU to the bank. If you're in Australia tomorrow, please pull out. Even if it's $20, $100, whatever it is, go in there and just troll these guys. They deserve it. Well done, Swan. Hash rate rising 7.21 exahashes. Absolutely massive. They sort of just came out of nowhere. They were building out in private, and 7.21 exahashes. Super well done. Fantastic video by Natalie Brunel. It's 4 minutes and 39 seconds. Maybe I'll play a little bit of it. If you'd like me to play the whole thing, let us know. Otherwise,
Natalie Brunel,
I
host of the Coin
have
Stories podcast.
reposted
Natalie,
it at Sean Clark 911. Let us know. I'm happy to play it all. It is a little bit long though. Now, that's what happens when you miss out on Bitcoin. Vanguard chose to block out Bitcoin. Just one thing I want to ask really quickly. If we vibe, if you can smash the subscribe button, this is the news with the fast facts, Monday to Friday Australian time, and then podcast with the brightest, greatest minds within Bitcoin. I believe this Saturday coming, I'll drop the Eric Kaysen video, waiting to get it back from the editor. Absolutely mind-blowing. So, crypto sovereignty, read the books, read the bugs. If you've read at least 5 Bitcoin books, jump onto this one. It's absolutely insane and take you right down the rabbit hole. If you're new here, Beers for Bitcoin is a good one. Even my wife yesterday, she's like, can I have the Beers for Bitcoin book? I'm like, yeah, sure. I'm so proud. About time, darling. And she's like, is it my book? Can I keep it? Because I've got 2 of them and they're both signed copies by Daz B. And I'm like, yeah, sweetie, no, like it's signed. It's for me. Like one of my greatest possessions is books. I said, you can look after it for as long as possible. And I got so many of these bad boys or these little babies out there in the wild. I said, I'll grab some off the people that are actually refusing to read the books, and then you can have that one. She was just trolling me because she knew I was pretty proud to have 2 signed copies by Dasby. I don't need 2 signed copies, but it's a good book. And once you read that one, Bitcoin Evangelism, whatever it is, but read the books or eat the bugs. My wife, finally, after nearly 5 years, is starting to, she's like, Bitcoin's your thing, you know, she's happy to invest, support me. But now she's like, okay, starting to really see what is going on, the cashless society, the agenda, and becoming not a Bitcoin, she was already a Bitcoin supporter for many, many years, obviously seeing our purchasing power, our wealth go up. But now she's like really getting all in. It's incredible to see. You can't change Bitcoin. Bitcoin changes you. Anyway, that rant was to say, hit subscribe if we vibe. Because if you miss out on Bitcoin, you miss out on freedom. I think long term, in my opinion, not to be too dystopian, but the world is going in a very interesting place. And maybe the worst never happens. That's cool. I hope for the best. But just in case, maybe grab a little bit of Bitcoin, hold it in self-custody, get it off the exchange. You can reach out to the Bitcoin way, whatever it is to be able to protect your assets, hold it and steal. Because if the worst does happen, Bitcoin's always going to be cheap, but you may not be able to buy it. It stirs a lot of people up. Anyway, Vanguard chose to block out Bitcoin. So now a fast-growing donor advisor fund, Daffy Giving, that otherwise used all Vanguard funds in their model, is using Bitwise funds to add exposure instead because they want to enable crypto exposure. The world will move forward one way or another. Vanguard excluding themselves from Bitcoin. People are waking up. Daffy Giving has been working with Vanguard funds in their model for a very long time, and they want Bitcoin. Everyone wants Bitcoin. It's amazing. People, like, the other day I said retail's not here. Retail isn't here. Yes, the ETFs have been driven by retail, but not the average retail. People that were already invested in the stock market. Wait until we have the halving, Bitcoin crosses $100,000. That's when we're really going to start seeing just the everyday person talking about Bitcoin. It's grand, it's glorious, it's a good thing. It's when things get very volatile, and that's what I mean by retail isn't here. So you front run them And depending how long you've been here, your front-run nation states, they're coming. Large corporations, there's really one here, but more are coming. You've beat them all. Well done. This is in regards to Commonwealth Bank. People are pushing back there, and the AFCA is starting to take note of complaints against the Commie Bank. So if you are with them, I'll repost that one there at Sean Clark 911, and you can check him out.
Thanks so much for
Let
being
us know
with
if you want to
today.
see
Always good to
the
see you.
Natalie Brunel video. She's just so articulate. I have reposted that at Sean Clark 911. Before we jump into the numbers, because it's not at 69,590 at all. It's way, way, way above that. Couple of things. This is the Bitcoin Lab. Buy, stack, and chill. Humble. If you'd like to support the channel, if you just want to rep the Bitcoin and start the conversation like I did at Easter with my uncle-in-law. That's not even the right word. Maybe it is. I don't know. Anyway, he's an absolute Chad, high net worth individual. Wearing the shirt. He's going to buy Bitcoin. Buy, stack, and chill. So you can get that shirt, read the books, eat the bugs, build back better. Bitcoin's the only way to be able to build back better. One thing I want to show you before we jump into the numbers, huge request for the women's clothes shirts. They are up there. Humble, stack stats, stack stats. Bitcoin, I love this one here, and that is on the way for me. Coming. I can't wait. So, and there's hats and accessories. Well, hats at the moment. Bitcoin Lab, if you want to orange people at work or whatever it is, just in a subtle way. Anyway, that's that. thebitcoinlab.io. I will put it in the top of the description for you. Now, the price. Let's bring up the big green button. $71,210. Well, it's come down a little bit from $71,440, but it's going up forever. And we'll still be buying. I don't care. 71,000, 70,000. 7 days up 7.7%. It's nothing. Absolutely nothing. What we're seeing is this is cool, $1.396 trillion market cap, 369, the numbers of the universe. They are baked in to the Bitcoin blockchain. I'm actually going to dive down into those numbers in a video maybe this week. We'll just touch on it really quickly. A lot of people are like, the numbers, whatever, they don't make any sense to me. The universe is just made up of math. And when you understand math, you understand the universe. According to Nikola Tesla, when you understand the numbers of 369, vibration, frequency, and I'm going to mess up the other one, so I'll dive into it in the other day. And a later day this week makes it up. Anyway, they're baked inherently into Bitcoin, into the halving, into the Genesis block. I don't know, looking for a rhyme and a reason, but Bitcoin's going up forever. Whatever convinces you of that, to buy, stack, and chill, make most of it. Let's refresh. 70,871, probably a little bit different on different places. 71,193 on the other ones. So whatever, it's like around 71,000. Let's just go the average of the two there. But in the past 24 hours, from 69,622 to 71,000, I saw it at 440 there. It's nothing. It's just another day. This is a boring day. Just get used to it. Up, down, and the sideways. Make the most of it. Please just buy, stack, and chill. You've got this opportunity to go as hard as you can, get as much as you can. Don't be worried. And that's why we brought this up at the start by Oliver and Wicked, if I can find it. Just DCA as much as possible. If you've got some dirty fiat on the side, smash buy. Get as much as you can and then keep DCAing if that fiat comes in when that fiat comes in. Look after your generational wealth. See, if you buy at the top in 2021, keep DCAing, you're better off than people buying at the bear market lows of 2022. Food for thought. Now I'm going to smash through the comments. 222 viewers watching live. G'day. Again, happy Easter Sunday. If you don't celebrate, happy Sunday. What the White House is doing, I won't go into it too much, but on a religious holiday, that's not on. I'm pro human rights. People can do whatever they like. But on a holy day, you cannot rename that, stop people from celebrating it, advertising it with Easter eggs and stuff. That's absolutely bizarre. It's interesting. Like, there's 52 weeks in a year. Any other weekend, just not Christmas or Ramadan, or like there's enough weekends to choose which one. It's a little bit of a psyop there. That's all I want to say. But happy, glorious Sunday, regardless if you celebrated it or not. And wherever in the world you are, whoever you are in the world, whatever you're doing in the world. Now, g'day everyone. Beautiful day in the People's Republic of Canada. G'day, Sean. The lies just keep coming, stack and chill. Easter greetings, Sean. Shout out to everyone. I won't go through the names. I'll try smash through all your comments. Truly appreciate everyone being here. Absolute blessing on this blessed day. Spent my Easter out camping with my family. Skins, it always seems like you're camping. Lucky. There is a principle which can't help but keep a man in ignorance. That principle is contempt prior to investigation. Herbert Spencer, I absolutely love that. Dizzy Lizzy is known as Senator Karen around here. G'day, Green Button Press for 1 million. I did get through those ones. Maybe I'm going to miss a couple. My apologies. I respect everyone that is here. Elon can move markets just by wearing a Bitcoin t-shirt. What's the prediction that Elon does wear a Bitcoin t-shirt this month? Not this month, this cycle. Just like a tiny little bead-like sailor had on his chest, embroidered, or maybe just something really, really, really small. Wouldn't surprise me. He's a troll. I don't know. I'm not opposed to the idea. I reckon there's a pretty high probability that he does it just for shits and giggles. And after he does that, I reckon he'll come out with some fun just to play around and be like, ha, 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 see these guys, I control them. I reckon he just does it for sport. Anyway, Elon has famously said he does not look into Bitcoin much. Probably doesn't because he has in the past. He understands it more than most, and he pretends he doesn't. Methinks, John, I was actually talking about you and your story with your dog on the weekend too. I'm just going to call him uncle-in-law. In regards to the power of Bitcoin and saving and Bitcoin being on a Bitcoin standard. And he's a dog lover as well, and it made sense to him. And that's sort of where we started the conversation. Then we went into store of value and saving for his retirement. He's been working his whole life. So why hasn't my financial advisor advised me about that? And then I just lost it. Anyway, then we went into a proper conversation. Anyway, methinks that a shift will occur when Bitcoin will be referred to in such. This may make it more sensible to both save and spend for low-cost expenditures. When do you think this may occur? John, I reckon at the moment, 0.07M at the moment is probably the easiest way and what's catching on the most, in my opinion. Like, I find that really good, really easy, because it's still below 0.1M. And it's still below 1M, 1 million. I reckon that's the easiest way to be able to describe it at the moment. And then, like, what I'm doing is when I orange people talking about Bitcoin, I'll bring it up here in the background. You'll sort of see it. Yeah, I'll go full screen. For every $10, you get 14,090 Satoshis. That's an amazing deal. Starting to move away from that $70,000 price, $71,000 price. Yes, I bring it up on the live streams, but when I'm talking about it now, it's 0.07M. And they're like, what's that mean? I said, well, it's only 0.07 of $1 million. What do you mean $1 million? Well, it's going to zero or $1 million in my opinion. TikTok next blog, 2,856. It is closing in. April 21st, it reckons here. I think the universe is going to be kind. We're going to get it on the 20th of April, 420 this year. What do you reckon? So funny how people still think Bitcoin is at 18K. Absolutely. It is. It was bizarre. Like, I just lost it. Bitcoin's dead. I'm like, yeah, right. Yo. You tell me. You tell me that Bitcoin's dead. They'll all know when it hits 100K. Absolutely. I bet many people think the ETF shares Bitcoin is equivalent to actual Bitcoin. So 100 shares equal 100 Bitcoin. You know, with the ETF, like BlackRock endorsement, that really helps out with high net worth individuals. With my uncle, he's not my uncle, but I'm going to call him my uncle. That gives them permission to study it more. The largest asset manager in the world, and the ETFs are so small in dollar value. It's a lot easier. Like, it takes out that unit bias. So I don't know. Thanks, Larry Fink, for being our marketing manager. If you are watching this, please buy Bitcoin, put into self-custody, cold storage, and really look after it. It is freedom technology. Make sure your seed's on steel. It's super easy. These things are $11. Link in the description for the Bitcoin way. Whatever you do, please just protect it, because maybe one day you will really, really need it. And even if the worst doesn't happen, Bitcoin's going up forever. So, like, it's a win-win. There's, in my opinion, no way you can lose with Bitcoin. If it fails, I think the rest of the world has got bigger problems, and I don't see that happening. Maybe we get massive corrections. We've had many in the past. It's all good. Just make the most of it. Use those opportunities to buy up, down, or sideways. I'm sending Elon a Bitcoin shirt. Who are hin? Absolutely epic. If you're looking for a place to go, the bitcoinlab.io. G'day, Sean. Let's effing go. Pizza Zombie, I love your attitude every day. Grayscale still trying to suppress the price. It's like putting your hand over a geyser. At some point, the buying pressure is going to supply. Gargoyle, Grayscale is giving us the best gift, keeping it cheap for us, allowing us to be able to stack as much as possible. I understand, like, we want 100K Bitcoin. I actually don't. I don't want that, because eventually it will, sooner rather than later. Mark Yusko, we had him on the other day. He was on CNBC the other day talking $150,000 Bitcoin. A lot of people think that is bearish. I questioned him about it, and he started to say maybe that is a little bit bearish. Whoever it is. ARK Invest, $1 million per Bitcoin. Like, it's continually going to go up. Who was I listening to on Mark Moss? $43 million Bitcoin. Whatever the price, and the dollar doesn't need a collapse for that. We can still have the US dollar, fiat currencies. They're in a debt spiral, but they may not go away straight away, but Bitcoin's still going to be here. So, Grayscale, thank you so much. But yeah, once that runs out and they can no longer suppress the price, it's epic. Do you do any Bitcoin mining? What's the energy cost like in Queensland? I am absolutely not here in Queensland. So I think in Australian dollars, it needs to be under about 8 cents a kilowatt to be able to do it. Queensland cost of electricity. Cost of electricity, Queensland. It's going up so much. It's like 37 cents, I believe. So Energy Australia, I'll bring it up. So 33.52 cents a kilowatt. I actually believe it's a little bit higher. I don't believe this is accurate. I think it's about 37 cents per kilowatt. It's not cheap. We're one of the highest energy cost places in the world. So yeah, definitely not. And for most people, like, if you want to contribute to the Bitcoin network, probably just better off running a node. Bitcoin mining, maybe like a nerd miner or something for a little bit of fun, unless you're going to be serious and go down the energy side of things. Maybe you want it to collect KYC free sats, but for the majority of people, it is going to cost you more than buying spot Bitcoin. I dove into this with Eric Kaysen as well. Like, it's your money, it's your choice, but really don't try and chase these leverage things when you can just buy the actual thing. In my opinion, freedom of choice, freedom of money, but Bitcoin will save you if things go wrong. Maybe they don't. That's great. If they don't go wrong, you're still going to be better off than everyone else. And that's a good and a bad thing. It's a little bit sad, to be honest, but at least with that, then you can do better in the world. You can do good in the world and help out other people. I know that wasn't a proper response, but I don't know. That's the way I think about it. Should Neverland books always gift them? Yes and no. I've gifted 30 of these books to people. But if I give someone a book now, I want them to read, and then I want to be able to pass it on to the next person. Some people need to take 100% responsibility and actually buy it or have fun staying poor. Like, I can only do so much. Like, I'm 100% for personal self-responsibility. Give them a book. Give them 4 months to read the book. If they're not going to read it, I want the book back to give it to somebody that's actually going to read the book. So yes, I have gifted a lot of these books to people, but I want to be able to hand it out to the next person, the next person, the next person. I understand what you're saying, but I actually disagree. Young Kings, orange pill is kicking in. 100% it is. One can transfer to a cold storage wallet off of PayPal. I'll double check that. I didn't believe you could do that. Can anyone else confirm it? That's even better if you can. I was reading Saturday? It's Monday here in Australia, that you could not do that. I think this is the most amount of people watching live. If you haven't already, like, this is the banter. But hit the subscribe button, greatly appreciated. And let's knock it out of the park this week. Bitcoin is going up and to the right forever. Like, it's a glorious time. I've given you a little bit of context of things that are coming today, but this week I think it's going to be a really interesting week once Wall Street starts to kick in. When people realize $1.1 billion of Bitcoin was bought over the weekend, and they don't care at what price. And I really want to know if that $1.4 billion of USDC, was it? 1.4 billion of USDC is related to the 1.1 billion of Bitcoin. It's interesting, the timing of it, and maybe it's not related. If it's not related and there's another $1.4 billion buy order coming, let's go. Good to see you. I'm saying 82K to 88K by May 1st. Crypto Creeper, 80K this week. Check out that number on the block clock really quickly. 70,969. That's pretty cool. Anyway, numbers, they distract me, especially numbers 3, 6, and 9. My apologies when I see that. I know I'm in line with my truth, or at least working towards my truth. Does that make any sense? Maybe not. It does to me, and that's all good. 82K to 88K by the end of the week. When Bitcoin rips, like, it can rip very, very quickly. It just takes, like, what is it? It's 72,500, 73,000. There's so many shorts they're going to have to cover, and then we rip and have a short squeeze to the upside. Like, let's go. Whatever the number is, Bitcoin's going to rip really quickly when it does, and playing around. Once it breaks that $74,000 level, 80K is in play very, very quickly. Traditionally, coming up to the halving, we come up to it a little bit volatile, sort of what we're doing now, but we've never been an all-time high at the halving. It happens afterwards. Come up to it, drop down on the halving, and then we pump. Maybe this time's different. As soon as the halving happens, we just keep pumping. Maybe we're just going to go like this forever. Who knows? Who knows? Absolutely interesting. James Beaumont, did you see that I brought up your repost this morning? James, shout out to you. He's an absolutely epic lad. I brought up your repost to the New Zealand Central Bank talking nonsense. It's so good. We brought it up months and months ago, but it's something that needs to be reminded. The central bankers are laughing at us. It's not a joke. Young Kings, I just love it. I'm buying the top forever. BBB, Biden's big blunder. 82K, Crypto Creeper. I don't know if the date is right, but you're 100% correct. 82K is coming. We're on the 2nd, the joke Biden, completely complicated cluster F. I've been good not saying the F word today. I did say the S word a couple of times. I want to show you something. Let me just find it and bring it up. I'm not going to play it here. I absolutely lost it over the weekend, and did a... Chuck, this is the fucking stupidest shit I've ever fucking heard. I hope that's not playing. How do I actually just see the tweet? So I'll bring it up. I'm going to repost it so it's fresh for you. This is not safe for YouTube. This is not the energy that I want to put out on YouTube for people that are willing to put up with a very, very, very high level of profanity, like extreme profanity, probably the most amount of F-bombs that I've ever been able to string together in a clear, concise, articulate way. Not even scattergun, like a machine gun, just cutting straight through the noise. Mr. Overpaid, this guy, Hassan. This is what's wrong in the world. This is the crypto bros. This infuriated me. People are paying this joke of $5,000 to learn to buy, stack, and chill. Here's his course. Buy, stack, and chill. Get fabulously wealthy. That's all you need to do with Bitcoin, and don't listen to the nonsense from people like that. Maybe as engagement farming. Anyway, what an absolute clown. If you are missing the F-bomb Fridays, jump on there. If you don't like profanity, don't judge me on that video. Just stay away. Anyway, I'm buying the top forever. James 369. We're on the second joke. Morning, g'day, Andy Surfer. Good to see you. Cheers, John. Jedex, cannabis finally legal in Germany tomorrow. Aussies need to wake up. Yeah, I was actually talking to someone about this. We have medicinal marijuana over here and all for it, and maybe that's the best way, or just to make marijuana legal. What we saw in, like, I'm talking out of step. I understand that. This is just my thoughts, my opinions. Let's be sure of that. But in Canada, when they made all drugs legal, like how quickly the society went down. It started with marijuana. If they can start and stop with marijuana, making that legal, I think that's great. And then people say freedom for the people. Yeah, but to make it so accessible, I don't think that's good. If people want to do that, like get a little bit of hustle and go meet up with someone and buy, I'm not endorsing it, but buy it illegally. Like if you're dead set to buy smack or whatever it is, go buy it legally. Like it's easily enough available. We don't need to make everything legal. But I understand like freedom of choice, but the impacts that it has on society, marijuana doesn't. Like I don't smoke it. I haven't smoked it for 7 years, but I think it's a miracle plant. I'm all for it. Freedom of choice. I think it's really great and it can really change people in so many ways, good and bad. I guess everything in moderation, most things in moderation. Anyway, that's cool, Jess. And sort of we're waking up. Michael is trolling or absolutely highly regarded. BCH. What's PSYOP? Like, please, this is the smallest Bitcoin book I've come across. Took me a weekend to read it. Michael, if you're serious, please read the book so you're going to eat the bugs. Like, 100% guaranteed. Bitcoin dies and rose from the dead. Like, Jesus Christ. Now, is that not profanity? What would be the right word? Blasphemy? Don't know. There are so many similarities between Bitcoin because it's pure truth, and everything that's pure truth is light. So living in line with light enlightenment, Jesus is a man that fully embodied truth. They have so many similarities, so I don't think so in the slightest. If that offends anyone, it's more the point. I am trying to be aware and careful, but regardless, Bitcoin's one of the truest things that has ever existed on planet Earth, and Jesus Christ, in my opinion, would have been a Bitcoiner. Muhammad would have been a Bitcoiner. Going to Moomin, I think you said going to the moon, but Mummin. Going to Mummin. Let's go to Mummin. Good morning, business. Solo miners super hard without a S-loader machine. Solo miners make money in a mining pool. Yeah, like talking about the nerd miner, though. It's like a lottery ticket. Yeah, very, very, very unlikely. But yes, I agree. I still don't think, personally, mining's the best way to go about it, unless you're really going above and beyond. I'm a legal grower in Oregon for 16 medical patients. Super cool. Crypto Creeper, have you connected with Eric V. Stacks? That video we did, he's got all the plants in the background, 2000 and something there. That's a cool video if you haven't seen it. He's super pumped, super grateful. Just absolutely love and respect Eric in what he's doing. And we had a good chat, you know, with all those babies there in the background. I love the accent, bro. New all-time high this week. Very likely. On your mate for being late. Just did my sunrise. Gazing, been doing it for donkeys the best. Absolutely it is. If you don't know what we're talking about, it's good. And I actually started a little bit late because I was watching the sunrise this morning. I was just so entranced. It was orange. Like, it was so beautiful. I wish I could take a photo. I'm not willing to dox myself. But it was glorious. Like, if you can get the sun in your eyes as soon as possible, the first 15 minutes, look into it. I'm not advising anyone, but don't look at it at midday. That's probably some advice. It's pretty epic. By May 1st, mate. Thoughts on weed? G'day. Well, that are my thoughts. I think it's a really great plant. I don't think it should be bastardized. I think like, it can be made too strong and stuffed with a little bit, but in its natural form, it's incredible. Me, I haven't smoked it for 7 years. The problem with it is maybe it's been a little bit longer. 8, 9 years? I don't know. Let's just say 7 years to be on the safe side. When I start, I can't stop, so I just don't start. Like, but I loved it. Like, since the age of 14. I started, it got me through some really rough and bad times, and I used it to self-medicate. For that, it was really good. For pain, it's really good. For people getting to sleep, it's really good. People going through tough times in their life, like, everything about it. I believe it's written in the Bible there, using the seeds to cure headaches. And there's some other references as well that are most likely to be marijuana. So I'm all for people being able to smoke it. If you're flying an airplane, definitely you need to be clean. You need to be off the stuff. If you're working like in really dangerous situations, or where you can potentially, where it can impair you and things can catastrophically go wrong, no matter how used to it you are, I'm probably against that. But yeah, I am against that. But my thoughts on it, like, it's a plant. It grows naturally, and like we're allowed alcohol, and young kids, they get all bombed up on the drink. This is way off Bitcoin, but I don't know. It is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Sunday. Happy Monday for everyone here in Australia. People fight, and one punch can kill, and they just go out and they start arguing, and, you know, that is what it is. Like, we're allowed that. That's a toxin, a neurotoxin. But marijuana, people smoke and sit around and they're happy hippies. Like, you know, or give an angry person alcohol and they get angrier. Give an angry person a nice big blunt. Oh, yeah, man, it's all good. Sorry, bro, let's hug it out. Yeah, sure, it's all good, man. That's my thoughts. What if each book came with some sats to give folks a starting point, instructions for self-custody? Just a thought. John, I think that's a really good idea. Them starting just by buying a Bitcoin book's a good start. There needs to be a point where people take 100% self-responsibility. We can help them out, send many sats to people, give them many books, but, like, if they're not willing to read one book to learn about money, like, they're going to waste their whole lives and enslaving themselves by saving in fiat. So I don't know. I care for the fellow human being and do as much as I can, but not everyone's going to get it. Not everyone's going to come along, and that's sad. Maybe not. There's only so much that we can do. Weed is even in the Bible known as the burning bush, referred to as a resinous bush. Been thinking about that. It could also be like a golden model as well, which is the highest containing plant with DMT as well. That could be the highly resinous bush. Be interesting to know which one. I feel like it's probably more a DMT related thing, as DMT provides visions and that connection with the spirit state, and DMT is something that naturally occurs, passed from the mother to the child through birth as well. It's that spirit molecule. Sorry, let me stop. That, whether it's marijuana or DMT. Anyway, this conversation's been really interesting. Let's Heart speak. Nobody is paying him. 369 makes sense to you and Nikola Tesla, hoping new wealth Bitcoiners will invest in real science so we can change the world. Everything we think we know about the world today. Those F-bombs were appropriate for the subject you were on. Crypto Creeper, 100%. That dude was an absolute joke. Decriminalization is different than being legal. I don't think people should be jailed for coping poorly and self-medication to avoid emotional pain. 100% agree, doctor. Be like Jesus. I saw that. I'm 66 years old, token for 50 years. The weird thing is I look like I'm only 40 years old. Absolutely awesome. Cool idea. Please lend me 10 years. Jesus died for opposing the money monopoly, the monopoly of the time. Yes and no. He also, anyway, Bible's full of mushroom references. Crypto's the new punk rock. Bufu Toad has the DMT5. Frankincense is more likely to be the resin. Frankincense isn't leading to visions, though, but maybe. I'm going with a DMT containing plant there. Dr. Louise is going with a frankincense, and then we have someone else with marijuana, and maybe don't lick the toads, Dracula. But ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. As always, do something nice for somebody. Have a beautiful day. Remember to buy, stack, and chill. Be blessed. Peace.